This comes right from the top. The judge is the monkey, and Eric Pickles is the organ grinder. Eric Pickles sent in Price Waterhouse. Eric Pickles sent this to the commissioner, sent this to the judge. Eric Pickles is the person that, since this judgment, has removed every single last remaining power from Tower Hamlets Council and appointed a senior Met police officer and another commissioner who believes that every university in this country should be privatised. They're the people that Eric Pickles has sent to run this council, to run this borough, and it won't stand. It will not stand. Because Eric Pickles has zero credibility lecturing anybody about corruption. Because there isn't a single person in this borough that has spent £500,000, £500,000 just on riding around in limousines. But that's what Eric Pickles has done. So I say, if we're going to root out the corruption, let's start from the top. Let's replace Eric Pickles. Let's have him up in front of a judge, because that's where he deserves to be. And if we're going to talk about electoral fraud, I'm in favour of a public inquiry into electoral fraud in this borough. Because when I was involved in the election campaign of 2005, when we kicked out Una King, I was the first person to complain to the press. I was the first person to complain to the Electoral Commission. I was the first person to complain to the police about the use of postal ballots and corruption in the Labour Party. So if we are going to have an inquiry into electoral corruption, I'll tell you this, it won't be Tower Hamlets first that are in the dock. It'll be the other political parties that are in the dock. And when I complained to the Electoral Commission, this is what they told me. The amount of votes that you were talking about wouldn't have made any difference to the outcome. Well, do you know what this judge found? He found just 100 votes were fraudulently attained. So Lutfer Rahman would only have been elected by 37,295 electors. And finally, I need to say this. This is now in your hands. Your council has been taken away from you and dismissed by a judge incidentally, who in the last electoral fraud case that he heard in Birmingham, got it wrong. He kicked out 3 councillors, and when he was taken to court, taken to appeal by one of those councillors, Mohammed Afsal, his judgment was overturned, and that councillor was given back the right to stand in elections and to vote. What on earth were they doing, appointing a judge who had already made a mistake in an electoral hearing to hear this case? What were they doing? So what we have to do is this. We have to rely on the only 2 things that ordinary people in this borough have ever really had. The only real power that they have, their numbers and their organisation. So I call on every person here, go back to the ward that you live in and organise a meeting like this. This is great, this is magnificent, the turnout is fantastic, it's not enough. It's got to happen in every single ward, and I will come and speak, and I guarantee that every other speaker here tonight will come and speak in your ward to put this message over. The EDL have said that they are holding a demonstration on the 8th of May against Lutfer Rahman in this borough. I say to the judge, Lutfer Rahman didn't invent the EDL, but you have given a free invitation to the EDL to come back to this borough after we kicked them out. And one more thing, the People's Assembly has organised a national demonstration against austerity. It's starting at the Bank of England. And we had always intended, and we have discussed with Lutfer Rahman and with the councillors, that it would end in Tower Hamlets on the 20th of June. And I've got a message for Eric Pickles, I've got a message for the judge, I've got a message for the commissioners. We are marching here, and that is an end of it, and you and the commissioners and no one else is going to stop us.
Thank you, John. Just